Oh, I should go check that out. Yeah, this is definitely what caused the fire. I need to do something about it before it spreads. Hello everyone and welcome back to Camplate Valley. In the last episode, we got rid of everything we had on the server and restarted from scratch. And we found that something was burning down part of the forest we were living in. So, to counter this, I'm going to be building a firewatch tower to keep an eye over the area. Let's get started. Okay, so here's the area that I'm thinking about building the firewatch tower. We have a nice open area. I talked about this in the last video, but it's surrounded by trees, yet it has its own like area. I might end up building a future one, like over on the other side of the river, like across the two valleys, but we'll have to see about that one. But this area is just kind of too perfect to leave alone. So yeah, we're gonna get rid of these trees and then get to work on a tower. Okay, I've built a lot of firewatch towers in the past, right? Now all of them have been relatively the same design, at least structurally, right? Very straight up, you've got the stairs going around, and then usually the cabin hut thing's a little different, but relatively the same. I wanted to make this a different, like feel different from them, and a bit more distinct. So I hopped in creative mode on my creative testing world. I got to work, all right. But if no, I don't want to select it. I want to spawn it in. Load. Okay, if I load in Firewatch Tower here, and I try and angle it, I need the move. Edit. Here we go. Yeah, it's hard to angle. And a couple items won't show because it's the creative ones. But we need to get a good placement. But yeah, I have been busy. Me and Gummy did a bit of work. There's some really cool things in this tower. And you know, I think that's actually a pretty solid spot. So, it's been a little bit, I'm gonna be honest. I took a break on this video and worked on a couple others in the background. But I'm finally back to finish this project. We do have the interior still, but overall, in terms of the actual structure, we are done. I'm gonna do a full tour of it and everything later. But we do have the interior, and I've been really trying to figure out how I want to do the interior of this build and how to kind of work in the second layer. But I have had a consistent issue this entire series. Every time I'm at Camplate, I've run into this exact same issue. If you've seen the previous one, or if you're looking at my health bar, you'll probably know what that is. We have a distinct food issue at Camplate. Now, I've been very lucky this SMP. Overall, we have a mod called Magical Rings, or Random Rings, and it's brilliant. One of the rings that I have, actually, means I have constant saturation, so I've really never had to worry about food on this server. But now we're out here, different story. And there's plans to make a big farm, specifically Gummy has plans to do it. But we kind of really need one now. Now, it won't be a proper one, but it'll mean that we have at least some bread to keep us going. Because right now, that is our food source. And, 4 blocks of wheat. So, we definitely need a much better food source. Okay, so my idea is to have 2 main farms around the area. The first being a more practical, kind of uglier wheat farm until we get an actual kind of farm-based setup over here. Now my other idea will look better and will fit the area better, but won't provide as good food as bread. And that is to put sweet berries all around the main area, the path and stuff, so that as you're going, you can just pick them off and regenerate your hunger if needed. Like I said, it's nothing to write home about. It's nothing special. In fact, this farm will actually be quite useless to us while we work on the firewatch tower, because I don't think we're in render distance, if I'm being honest. But it is very beneficial for the long run. I have a decent amount of meat anywhere to work on the firewatch tower with. Oh, that will save us in the long run until we get an actual farm set up. Okay. Now our food issue is semi-resolved. The biggest issue now is decorating this, because staircases are really awkward in Minecraft, at least in my opinion. They can look great in big builds, but at the same time, in a lot smaller ones, they take up so much space sometimes. So the main thing here is trying to figure out how we resolve that, make a nice staircase to get to this second layer. I am going to check Pinterest. Okay, so I've been doing some thinking. It's been a little bit, and I think I've finally figured out how to do this godforsaken staircase that's taken me so long to figure out. But it does involve changing the roof a little. So instead of having it slabs and stairs, we're gonna have pretty much entirely just planks. In this section here, we'll have, it might need to be a block taller, but the idea I have is layer them like this. We get a relatively easy design or a spiral staircase. I was in creative earlier, really trying to come up with staircase. I've had some pretty cool ones, but the thing about this firewatch tower is it's very compact, right? It's a big build. You know, if I go in free cam, it's quite a big build. It's not a mega base or anything, but as a single structure, it's not like tiny, right? But in terms of what we actually have for interior space, it's not that much to actually work with. Okay, so here is just like a pretty simple small desk. My idea, as I mentioned earlier, is this top layer is kind of more relaxation based, kind of more chill. Obviously you can still look out everywhere, see if there's any fires. Make sure to keep an eye out on that one over there. But down here will be where all of the main important stuff, like the firefinder and stuff. So with this idea, we've just got like a little bed. There's going to be like a carpet probably. It's not perfect, you know, I think it has some issues, but also firefinders, I'll put a picture on screen in case you don't know what one is. They're very, like, I don't know how else you do one really. So we just need to get a map of the area. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so I've just made a map of the area. At the minute it only has the firewatch tower. And I know, obviously the map will be a lot bigger. But we don't actually have that much built up at Camplate yet. So I think my idea is every couple episodes, we will head over to the firefinder. And as more is built at Camplate, we will expand the map as far as it can go to hopefully reach as much as the area as possible. And I used this last time because either way it won't match up one of the textures. I'm going to put our crafting table in there so that we have one, if we're up here, we have one that we can use. And that looks nice. Obviously we have the firefinder, so we don't want to interrupt. But I think this gives it a nice little cozy feel, while not taking up too much space. Okay, so we are officially done with the Firewatch Tower build. I'm so happy that it's done. I think you've seen a lot of this build already through like replay shots and other video stuff, but I will just give like oh my god, as I was saying before I was murdered, I do want to add a path connecting it to the main area, but that isn't done yet. But we do have this nice little outhouse with a seat in it, you know, just to kind of add to the build a little bit. But here is the staircase leading you up. I decided to do more of a tower going in on itself than straight up like previous ones I've done, simply so it's just a little bit more interesting and different. Also, thanks to Gummy, we have this little barrel machine that you can use to bring items up and down. Obviously it's not actually that useful in like an in-game sense, but it's really cool to have like an in-game reason or in-game way to transport like supplies and stuff up to the top of the tower. Unfortunately, I do have to carry anything a little bit further up the stairs, and I really like this interior. I'm not going to go into like everything because I have already talked about it a lot, but I think it's a really cozy interior for a little Firewatch tower. I'm really happy with how the firefinder came along. Obviously, I am going to go in and update the map every couple episodes. And then upstairs is nothing special, but it's nice. It's cozy. I think it really fits the autumn vibes that this template as a whole, and specifically this build, was going for. And yeah, I just want to say thank you everyone for watching this video. It's been so much fun to work on this project, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it come together. There will be many more template videos. And finally, if you did enjoy this video, please subscribe. It really helps me out, and you get to see more of these videos when they come out. Well, win-win. Anyway, see you next time. Bye.